Hey everybody, and welcome to Plastic Nostalgic, where all toys are nostalgic. Eventually. Now today we're going to go to the Star Wars Mandalorian series and check out these two retro figures, Greef Karga, played by Carl Weathers, and Kuiil, played by Nick Nolte. Now obviously these weren't ones I had as a kid, but they're modeled after the ones I had. So let's get into them and check it out. Today, we have the Star Wars Retro Collection figures from the Mandalorian series of Kuiil and Greef Karga, played by Nick Nolte and Carl Weathers. You can see the scene from the show on the front of the package here, and with a little beat up on the sides to make it look like it's old. Has a little checklist on the back for that wave of figures, and we've opened all of them so far except for the Remnants Trooper. Same thing on the back here, and here's Greef Karga from the show. At first, I didn't really like this character, but he kind of grew on you after he got some sense in him. So let's get into these and check them out. Always be careful when using a knife. We're going to check out Kuiil first. The Mandalorian found him on, I think it was called Arvala 7, to help him with his mission one time. Well, he's one of those choking you toys, but I can understand. He's kind of a small guy. Let's get this out of here. There is his card back. Let's set that aside and get him out of here. He is a tiny action figure. And it looks like a blaster, kind of modeled after an old shotgun of some sort. See if we can get a better look at it. Kind of hard to hold on to. And here we have the Kuiil. When I first saw him on the show, I was like, I know that guy from somewhere. And sure enough, it was Nick Nolte. And I kept calling him Nick Nolte every time I saw him on the show. So, but now we know his name's Kuiil. And he holds his blaster. A lot like those ones in the 70s did. Kind of off to the side, but at least it's in his hand. He has the basic articulation of his arms having one joint and his legs moving at the hip and his head his head turns after a little coercion. And he has that little piggy nose. And sideburn beard here. And he is an Ugnaught. And this here is an Ugnaught from back in the day. One of those guys that was working in the carbon freeze chamber in The Empire Strikes Back. He has a more pronounced piggy nose and actual tusks. But we can just pretend this is Kuiil. in his first job. Now let's check out Greef Karga. Now, I remember Carl Weathers from a lot of different things. Mainly Predator and Arrested Development. He was a pretty funny character in that show. But here he is. He's one of the Star Wars figures now. Just about everybody is. Here we have some more of that warning. It's okay. We'll make sure to chew our toys well. He has a little blaster himself. And now he's out. Also with the simple articulation. But this one comes with one of those classic looking vinyl capes that were on a number of characters back in the day, like Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader. This one being black reminds me of Darth Vader, especially how they got the fold in the back there. And he played kind of a sneaky dude on the Mandalorian show. But I kept expecting him to say, well, that bone's got a little meat on it. We can make a stew out of that. Like he did on Arrested Development. Let's see how well he holds his blaster. Looks like only one of his hands can do it. Same thing. Like in the old days, they didn't have the custom grips, but just enough to hold it. And there is Greef Karga from Star Wars The Mandalorian. Kuiil and Greef Karga from the Star Wars series The Mandalorian. Thanks for joining us today on Plastic Nostalgic, where all toys are nostalgic. Eventually. And if you want to see some more unboxing of some soon-to-be nostalgic toys, be sure to like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below. See y'all next time.